We Are Texans by Mia Webb. Table of contents. What I'm working on. Slide 1. Landforms. Slide 2. Texas economy. Slide 3. Celebrations in Texas. Slide 4. Foods in Texas. Slide 5. Main resources in Texas. Slide 6. Weather and conditions in Texas. Slide 7. Interview questions. Slide 8. People to interview. Slide 9. Interviewing answers. Slides 10, 11, 12, and 13. Fun facts, slide 14, and my resources, slide 15. I'm working on. This project generates a deeper understanding of population groups that have settled in Texas. I will study immigrant groups of the past and current immigrant groups. I will try to study and understand how settlers came about the decision on moving to Texas based on different reasons, such as physical geography, resources, climate, economy, culture, traditions, foods, and restaurants are all vital to the decisions and choices people have made or will make. Additionally, I will learn what the population groups brought with them from their old homes and what contributions they have made to Texas. This project promotes understandings of others through the discovery of similarities and differences among population groups who came from various places around the globe to live in one place, and that is Texas. Landforms. People moved here because of the landforms. They would be closer to the coast so they could access food easily from the ocean. Another reason is we have loads of space and plains to build houses and to start populations. In Texas, we have a lot of farms, and they contain animals, so it is easy access to access meat from the animals and not have to track them down. For present day, we have lots of undeveloped land that we can use to build and grow our population. Did you know that Texas is so big that it has more miles of roads than any other state? Texas economy. Lots of people move to Texas, and one of the main reasons is because of the economy. Did you know that Texas is home to one of the healthiest economy in the USA? Here are a few things about Texas economy. Texas oil businesses is 40% of USA oil. Even though Russia has 5 times more residents than Texas, we still have $40 billion more in economy. The Texas economy today relies largely on information, technology, oil and natural gas, aerospace, agriculture, and manufacturing. And for those reasons and more, Texas has the second highest number of employed people in the USA at 13.4 million people. Celebrations in Texas. In Texas, we have loads of holiday celebrations that we celebrate in a special way. Some featured holidays we have in Texas are 4th of July, Columbus Day, President's Day, and Independence Day. These holidays are very well recognized in Texas. We celebrate these holidays with parades, parties, and festivals. 4th of July is one of the most popular holidays because that's when Texas celebrates their freedom. For example, on that day, we all gather in big land areas to watch fireworks. So, if you like partying and celebrating holidays in fun ways, then Texas is a great place for you. Foods and restaurants. Here in Texas, we have loads of foods. You might want to move here because of that. Some foods that are very well known and popular are chicken fried steak, chili, queso, tamales, and salsa. These foods are eaten all the time. We also have many restaurants to sell these foods. There are more than 43,000 food outlets in Texas. The CEO and president of Texas food industry is Christine Cummings and Maine Groshers. Resources in Texas. In Texas, we have some great resources you can use. One natural resource Texas has is its cotton. We have big plains and we use them to grow cotton for our clothing and supplies. Another resource we have is coal. We use coal for many things, including to get electricity and to power trains to deliver items to other places. These resources help Texas in everyday life. Climate and weather conditions. The hottest month of the year is August, ranging from 75 degrees Fahrenheit and the high is 93 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason we have warm and sunny weather is because we are more located in the south. Snow is very special to receive in Texas. The month with the coldest temperatures is January, with temperatures from 34 degrees Fahrenheit to 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Usually, the cold weather starts on November 25th all the way and ends to February 24th. Interview questions for the people. What state did you come from? Number 1. 2. Has it been easier here in Texas, and why? Number 3. What was the specific reason you moved here? Number 4. Is it easier for you and your family to get food, shelter, and etc.? Number 5. Based on your reasonings, how did moving here benefit you? Number 6. Do you think the community here in Texas is better for you? Number 7. Do you think your neighborhood amenities are more advanced and enjoyable? Number 8. How do you like the foods and restaurants here in Texas? Number 9. How do you enjoy the weather here? Number 10. Are you happy to be by the coast? 11. Do you think Texas is a safe place to live in? And number 12. Do you think the economy here is better than your previous state? People to interview. The people I will interview for my project are Uncle John, my piano teacher, Miss Natalia, my family friend, Mr. Roger, and my neighbor, Moose. Miss Natalia answered for number 1 that she had come from Russia. For question 2, she had answered that it is much easier for her to make her way around, and there is much more diverse community. And for her question 3 answer, she answered that she moved to Texas because she has lots of family here. My Uncle John answered question 1 that he came from Ohio. Question 2, he said it is easier because it's a friendlier community and I have my own house. Question 3, my uncle answered that he moved here because I knew the weather would be nicer. My family friend, Mr. Roger, answered question 1, and he said that he came from Lebanon. Number 2, he said it is easier because it's a friendlier community, and I have my own house. For question 3, he says, I moved here specifically to go to college. And my neighbor, Moose, he answered question 1 that he said he came from Colorado. Question 2, he said it had been easier in Texas because there's more diversity and I like my community. Question 3, he moved here because he had more family here and because of COVID. And Miss Natalia answered for question 4 that it is much easier for her to get stuff like food and shelter. For question 5, my teacher, Miss Natalia, said one benefit I had to moving here to Texas that I got to become a piano teacher. And question 6, she said the community here is more diverse and fun, in my opinion. My Uncle John said for number 4, it is easier for me to retrieve food and shelter. Houses here are very affordable as well. In question 5, he said a benefit that I had to moving here was that I got to start a family. In question 6, his benefit was, he said that I do think the community is better, and the people are more friendly and relaxed. And my family friend, Mr. Roger, answered question 4. It is much easier. For question 5, a benefit I had to coming here is that I got to start a building company. And question 6, he said, yes, it is much more friendly here. And my neighbor Moose said for question 4 that it was much easier in closer stores to retrieve food. For question number 5, he said it has been easier in Texas because there is more diversity and I like my community. For question 6, he answered the community is more diverse and people live closer to me. Miss Natalia answered for question 7 that they are better conditioned here. In question 8, she says, I like the foods here a lot. In question 9, she says, I like the weather here because it doesn't snow as much as Russia. My Uncle John answered for question 7 that the safety is the same safety as Ohio. And for question 8, he says, I love the foods here because it's diverse. And for question number 9, my uncle answered, I just adore the weather. It's warmer and I like warm weather a lot. My family friend, Mr. Roger, answered question 7, saying, yes, they are better than the ones in Lebanon. The safety and authority is better here. And question 8, my family friend, Mr. Roger, answered, the food is great because you can find different diverse foods, such as Chinese foods, Russian foods, Asian foods, and etc. And for question 9, my family friend Mr. Roger answered, I like the weather here because it's warmer and it doesn't get too cold during the winter. My neighbor Moose, for question 7, answered, yes, my neighborhood has more parks and fields to meet up at and play at. And for question 8, he answered, yes, I like the foods here, and the restaurants are much closer. For question 9, he answered, I like the weather here better because it was much colder in Colorado, and here it's warmer. Miss Natalia answered for question 10, being by a body of water means that I can go to the beach very often. For question 11, she answered, it is very safe here. For question 12, she answered, the economy is more prioritized here. My Uncle John answered question 10 by saying, I like being by a body of water because I can go fishing and ride on my boat. Question 11, he answered, I think that Texas is a safe place to live in. For question 12, he said, the economy is more organized and advanced. My family friend, Mr. Roger, answered question 10 by saying, yes, I like to swim, and since I'm by the coast, I have my own beach house. And for question 11, he answered by saying, it has been easier in Texas because there is less chaos and the laws are more organized than Lebanon. And for question 12, my family friend Roger answered, yes, businesses are much more profitable here. My neighbor Moose answered question 10 by saying, yes, I like to be by the coast and I also like to go to the beach. For question 11, my neighbor Moose answered, yes, I think it is a very safe place to live in and it has more authority. In question 12, my neighbor Moose answered, economy here is much better and businesses are much bigger as well. Fun facts. Texas is so big that it has more miles of roads than any other state. Number 2, 40% of USA oil comes from Texas. Did you know there are 13.4 million people employed in Texas? Did you know that Texas means friend in Caddo Indian? Texas hosts America's largest rose garden. Texas is USA's second largest state. Dr. Pepper was invented in Texas originally. Texas is the live music capital of the world. And Texas has 3 of the biggest cities in the USA that are Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching my presentation. I appreciated it very much. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye. Here are my resources that I have used to make this PowerPoint, and I would like to reach out a big thanks to these sources.